Hello and welcome to another Zach Carnage video, and this time we're going to be doing a deck profile on the deck which I've discussed in my top 5 videos, and really I've enjoyed playing with a lot. I took it to my local tournament this last weekend and I managed to get second place with it, and I'll talk about the matchups in a bit, so we'll just get rid of the side deck and take a look at the main deck. So this is Exodia, which means we play the 5 pieces of Exodia, obviously. Don't really need to talk about those. Your win condition is to just draw into that. It's pretty simple. We play 2 card D because I have to, and it's just good. Just gets you extra cards. 1 Swift Scarecrow. I would play 3, but I only have 1. And in the end, it turned out to be fine because I play 3 Battle Fader, and to replace the 2 Swift Scarecrows, we play 2 Cyber Valley. Now, a lot of people dispute Cyber Valley and say it's not a very good card. But in combination with Battle Fader, you can just banish the 2 for its effect and get the double draw, and you can do all sorts of shenanigans. You can just stall out with Cyber Valley on its own. If you want, you can play Chimera Tech Overdragon, and then you go up against machine players, and you can bring out your own wall of Chimera Tech Overdragon from your side of the field with Cyber Valley. It's just a pretty good card in general. Also, it allows you to get back pieces of Exodia which end up being sent to the grave, because doubtless your opponent's going to bring in stuff which can make you discard. And if you go up against something like Evil Swarms, where they have the option to go into Ouroboros, which will make you discard, that Cyber Valley is really important, especially also against Dark Worlds as well. And that's it for the monster lineup. So for the spell lineup, we play 1 Day of Peace, brilliant card. We can only play 1, so it's a shame. 2 Pot of Duality, because third one gets cloggy when you're drawing into multiple. We play 3 Upstart Goblin, because there is absolutely no negative for this card. Everything about it is good. You get the extra draw, you get the extra 1000 on your opponent. There is no negative for this card in this deck, so that's why we play 3. And for the trap lineup, 2 Gift Card. I know some people would rather play 3 and 2 Hope for Escape. I think this version is better, just in case your Hope for Escapes get knocked out. I'd rather have the double gift card, and obviously, you know, you hold on to the Hope for Escapes until you see this, if you can, but you don't want to overdraw, so 2 is generally enough. We play double Accumulator Fortune. Obviously, this card comes straight out as soon as you go into side, because people will put in traps down, and you just don't want to be going into long chains, so you just don't bother with the Accumulator Fortune in games 2 and 3. And then obviously the main engine is the Hope for Escape section, so we play 3 copies of Hope for Escape. This card lets you draw 1 card for every 2,000 points difference between your life points and your opponents, provided your opponents are higher than yours. So that explains most of the deck if you haven't understood the rest already. And then we play 3 Legacy of Yatagarasu, because it's slightly better than Jar of Greed. And then 2 Jar of Greed the draw cards, and the last of the draw cards are triple Reckless Greed. I actually managed to get all 3 off in 1 turn in one of the games, which was just awesome. And don't chain this. If you don't have Accumulator Fortune, there's no point in doing... well, there's never any point in going Reckless Greed in the same chain, because your opponent will just go Trap Stun and stop you right there. It's better to just go Reckless Greed, wait until they do something else, go for the next one. And for the remainder of the traps, just more attack stops. We've got 1, 2, 3 Wabakus, and 1, 2, 3 Threatening Roars. These are all preferable over the monsters now, because we don't see Royal Decree and Trap Stun so much. We do see Armades a lot. And our Armades can't deal with these, because you can activate these before the battle phase, before any attack declaration goes on. Whereas things like Swift Scarecrow and Battle Fader, you actually have to activate in response to the attack. So these are just generally better as far as the ability for your opponent to go into Armades goes. So that was the main deck. Obviously, we just play 40 cards, and the side deck is 15 cards. And this is something that people probably don't do very often. I just thought this was just an awesome idea, which I came up with, which is kind of blowing my own trumpet a bit, but I just think it's a really cool system. So basically, we're playing a Chainburn side deck. So we go for 1 Lava Golem, 2 Chain Strike, 2 MST, that's the monsters and spells. And then the traps are 1 Ceasefire, 1 Ojama Trio, because I only have 1, triple Just Desserts, brilliant card, double Secret Barrel, because I only have 2, 1 Magic Cylinder, and 2 Dimension Walls, I would play Triple Dimension Wall, but in the end, you know, these three are the least good of all of your burn damage cards. But having the ability to switch out to burn decks is just a really good option, because when you're playing Exodia, your opponent thinks, oh, okay, well, if I drop down my life points, then they won't be able to draw so much with Hope for Escape, because of the condition for Hope for Escape, which I've just told you about a minute ago. You know, in order to use Hope for Escape the best way, your opponent has to have higher life points than you do. So they'll pay costs. They'll play stuff like Solemn Warning, taking down their life points by 2,000 to cancel out one Battle Fader or something. And if you've switched 15 cards from here to your 15 card side deck for Chain Burn, then that's just 2,000 points of damage that you don't have to do anymore. They're left on 6,000. That's just easy. You just smash them with it. And the majority of the deck is the same, because it revolves around attack stops with Wabaku and Battle Fader and Swift Scarecrow, and just drawing with Reckless Greed and things like that. So generally, the cards which will come out in games 2 and 3 will be the if I can just do this quickly for you. You've got the Hope for Escapes, Accumulated Fortunes, that's 5, gift cards 7, Upstart Goblins takes us to 10. Any 5 more that you want to come out is just pieces of Exodia. So that's your 15 cards that come out, and you just put all of your side decks straight in, and you've switched to a Chain Burn deck, and it's just an insane, really insane way of playing the deck. But obviously, you know, don't let your opponent see what you've done. Don't let them see that you're taking out Exodia. And if you want, you know, I guess you could play Max C, either in the main or the side. I don't think Max C is so relevant at the moment, just because people are playing Shadows, you know, you just go into Winder and it's one summon. So yeah, I think generally you don't need the Max C. This deck just pretty much does it. As far as matchups were concerned, the first game I played against a sort of mixed match rogue deck, a little bit of, I think, Nordic Beast or something in it, some sort of mythical beast thing. Well, just won that 2-0. Second game I played against a Gishki player, and I completely forgot to side out in game 2. I really should have sided out in game 2, so I lost it 2-1 to Gishki's. Because he was paying 1,000 life points, and I was just thinking, oh, I can't get my draws for Hope for Escape off, and I just completely forgot what the whole point of this side deck was. So I lost that one, unfortunately. What was game 3? What did I play again? I also played against Chain Summoning Gadgets, and then 2 more decks. I think it was 2 more meta decks. Can't really remember what they were, but I know I trashed them. It was just 2-0, or it was 2-0 or 2-1 in all cases. So the only one I lost was against Gishki's, and that was just completely my fault. I just brought this in at the wrong... I didn't bring this in at the right time. So yeah, if you got any comments or suggestions, don't forget, you can always leave them in the comment section down below. I would love to hear, you know, any of your ideas. Don't forget to check out the Cool Kingdom website, which has a link in the description. It's www.coolkingdom.co.uk. They're being really supportive and helping me, you know, keep up this hobby, because I'm actually going to be going to university very soon, on Sunday. And we're starting off the Oxford University Trading Card Game Society, so, you know, just quick shout out for us in there. We're going to be trying to get teams together and going to events, and we would just love to get any support that the internet can offer us. We might even end up, you know, doing a load more stuff on YouTube, so I'll be getting a lot of duel videos from there, deck profiles and all sorts on the way. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.